in lesson 1, we picked out the colors for the string. Lesson 2, we actually made the string. Now lesson 3, we're going to go over installing it on the bow. So if you come over here and look at what this peep is doing, something to look at, you notice how this is not, it should be in this position. So one of the things that you can do to fix that is you can put another twist in your string and see what it does. Now it's not quite there, so maybe I need to twist it back here a little bit. So this is one of the things that you can do when it's on your bow to kind of figure out what you need to do to get it to line up. Now granted, this isn't quite the complete pressure that we need. If it wants to line up this way, we can always move the peep. So on this one, because we're going straight to the bow, we can just pull this off and keep these two together. Now, if you look at a normal one that you buy, they're going to be, a lot of times they use a paper clip to hold these two together so they don't untwist. So now when you look at this cam right over here, you're going to see there's 3 different posts on here. This one started out on the middle one, so that's where I need to put it back onto. Now, one of the things that you have to look at is making sure that your cables and stuff stay on there. Now, this came off. And if we come over here on the other side, if we can take a look at this other side, is make sure that all the strands stay on that as we do it. Now, see how that wants to come off a little bit? That little strand. You always want to make sure that all those are on there, because what will happen is you have one off and it doesn't work very well that way. You put a lot of strain on the other strand that's left. So now we're going to take our new string and we set it up so the top one is over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the bottom one, because there's only one place to go. You're going to come down. Make sure you don't be twisting it, because you may have to twist them up again. So feed this through, and then you'll see a loop on the other side. Can't really see it too well from there. So now, remember that third post that was on there. I'm going to come through here. Make sure you go between the Y cables here, and I'm going to put it on that middle post. Bring it up and around and back around. Now, before you put any pressure on that, make sure you pull up on this. Check this. See, now that came off. So that's why I always serve them. That's going to be the next one, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. So now you're going to make sure you have pressure in here. Release the pressure on your bow. Now, before you go completely, take a look at where the string is on. Make sure it's on the post. It stays in the track all the way around. Run your finger along there to make sure. Now, if you don't do that and it's hanging off to the side, if you draw it back, you're liable to cut that. So now, if you notice, this actually lines up where it's supposed to. Now, if we had to change it, we could take pressure off and we can flip it or put a twist in the string. The last resort would be to loose the pressure and move a strand from one side to the other side, take one from the bottom over, and that will turn them slightly. If you're not lining perfectly up, a half a twist might move it too far. So that's the little fine tuning you do. But remember, you need to shoot it in first. Make sure it's all stretched out and all settled in before you do that. So that's how you install it. We already have a loop on here. We'll put a kisser button on once we get it all set, ready to go. And we'll probably put some string silencers in up here someplace, kind of like I have in here in the cables. Because if you put pressure on here, now you can hear, and you can see it vibrating. What the dampeners will do, it dampens that out, it actually makes your bows look quieter. So that's it for lesson 3. Stay tuned for lesson 4, where we'll be making the control cable. That'll be the next one we'll be making. And just keep following along, and we'll get this bow all set up.